In this video, you will learn how to build an app straight from imagination using Lovable. You just describe what you want in plain English and Lovable just build it for you. We will start with what makes a good prompt and then move into edits like changing the look, adding new features and signing in real users and fixing security issues. And by the end of this video, you will have a real app that you can use on your phone. So you can head to link in the description below to follow along. When you click on that link, you will land here on the Lovable homepage. Now to set up your account, click the Get Started button in the top right. Sign up with provider of your choice. Now that you are here on the main workspace, let me give you a quick orientation starting with a menu on the left side of the screen, and two things you need to know are number 1, the home button to get you back to the screen, and number 2, all of your recent chats down below. You can also access your profile settings by clicking on your profile icon, and in the center you have your prompt box. That's how you get started with writing your first app. And if you are struggling for inspiration, you can scroll down to reach Lovable's template library. These templates solve real industry problems. Once you start building projects, you will also see a visual representation of them down below. Now you might have noticed that all of these templates and all of these apps are web apps, and that's because Lovable is a web app builder. But we can make apps feel like they were made for phone without having to deal with the app store. That's what we are going to do today. So what are we building? Well, you know that feeling when you have got 10 to-do list items bouncing around your head, and then you forget half of them before you can write them down. That is what we are fixing here. We are building an app where you just ramble your to-do list and it puts down tasks on your Google Calendar. So even with this idea, the most intimidating thing is staring at this blank prompt box. So how the hell you tell AI to do this? One thing you could do is go read Lovable's prompting best practices. These are some awesome tips in here to help you out on your Lovable journey. But for the sake of time, I will give you the core components you need for your first prompt. Before you type anything into window, you need to get clear on two things. Number 1 is what the app does. This is also known as the goal or the problem that the app is trying to solve. Number 2 is how the user moves through the app, that's also known as app flow. My advice is to start with simplest version of the goal you can, and maybe 1 to 2 features on the top of that. That's enough for most of us because you will probably spend a bunch of time tweaking how the app looks. And that's a lot easier when you only write 1 to 2 features versus 10. The third thing you need to know is to start with plan mode before you send in the prompt. You will find that setting under the menu here that says build. I will now paste a prompt which I created earlier. If you want to follow along with me, grab this prompt with the resource guide which you can find in the description. Here are 4 things that I want to call out. First is we have got the goal of the app, and it's simply a web-based mobile app that a person can use to record ideas on the go. And next is we have got a very simple user flow of how this should look. Notice this reads like a narrative. For example, once recorded, you need to do this. Here's a constraint. Assume a task is 30 minutes long. And here's the next step. Make the user confirm the task. Finally, I am giving a constraint to hardcode the Google account just for simplicity of this demo. Those were the first 2 things we already covered. Now number 3, which is new, is a comment on the design look and feel. Notice I am being really buzzwordy. Really clean, sleek, minimal. Lovable actually recommends you to use words like this. And now if you have more specifics like brand colors, definitely put them in here. Now number 4, I love this. We are asking Lovable to ask us question to clarify what we want. I will go ahead and get this running, and then explain why we do this. Basically, as humans, we are just really bad at explaining what we want. And so we are going to end up with vague prompts like this. There are probably millions, if not billions, of different combinations of apps that could come from this prompt. So let's give the AI a chance to give us something that we like by asking us for more details. After a couple of seconds, these questions pop up. Now you will probably get different questions and different answer choices than me. And that's okay. Just answer them the best you can as I go through these. Notice I got questions on visuals. And then I think the rest of these are all functionalities. Once we are done, Lovable goes back to the drawing board and writes up its plan. Now I just got more questions, and this is good because it means the AI is trying to do right by what I want. This question is more technical. It's asking, do I want to use a third party voice transcriber or just use the free version? For this example, let's stick with free. This next one is also a technical question. We will keep things simple and just use Lovable connector to connect Google Calendar. And this is another functionality question. We will just leave that as the default answer. Now it took about 30 more seconds and it created its plan. And it's broken up into non-technical sections and technical ones. I can't emphasize enough that you need to spend the time to read through this. If you are not technical, at least look through the look and feel, screens and flow or user flow. It might be called something different and how it works. If something in this doesn't look right, follow the prompt box and tell Lovable what to do instead. Make any edit you need to and then approve the plan with me when you are ready. Partway though, you will be prompted to connect your Google Calendar. Now I have already connected mine through Lovable. That's why you see Khushi's Google Calendar here. If you haven't yet, click the connect button, sign in with your Google account and then link it to your project. And after a few minutes, you will see your app live on the right side of the page. So let's see if this actually works. I will click the mic button and then share a few tasks. I need to send the TDS report with few cover sheet to Bill and the rundown of the client list to Charles. I will click the stop button here, thinks for a couple of seconds and we see some tasks to approve. Now in this version, it took exact current time that I spoke those tasks in to set this up. It's not rounded to nearest 15 minutes or 30 minutes. We will put a pin in that for later. Now let's just see if it goes to our calendar or not. It said it added the task successfully. And if we go to my calendar, you will see both of those tasks. Now if you did that with me, I bet there was something that buzzed you. For me, it was the fact that these tasks had to go from 2:02 to 2:32 pm. So I will prompt it to make a change and you should too. Notice my prompt is very simple. I am just saying the task should be set to start at the nearest 15-minute increment, not in the past and not at the current time. Let's see how it does. While that's working, here are couple quick tips. If you want to open this screen in new tab, you can click this arrow button up here. If you want to preview how this looks in a tablet or a phone view, click this icon here. So the first click shows you a tablet, second click shows you a phone, and the third click takes you back to the desktop. Now it's finished. Let's try this again. I need to pay my credit card bill. We will add this one to the calendar and then see. This is now correct because the last task goes until 3:02 and the next 15-minute slot that I am open is 3:15. Now this is correct, but it's not complete. So what do I mean by that? Let's try this. I need to call Kevin tomorrow at 10 a.m. I said 10 a.m. not 3 a.m. So we have got to fix this. This is the next prompt to copy and paste from the resource guide. When you are done, I will walk you through it. Okay, here's how it works. We are adding a new feature, allow the user to specify in their voice when the task must be done and how long it takes. Here are some examples of how it should work. So it should recognize words like tomorrow, yesterday, Friday at 3 p.m. And you should give it rules on how to disambiguate between certain terms. So like morning means before 11, afternoon 1 to 4. Next Monday is this upcoming Monday or the one after, and so on. Basically, the more specific you could be with these cases, the more AI will understand you. The less time you will waste making more changes later. Let's try something a little more complicated. Email can win tomorrow at 10 a.m. about the video brainstorm. Pick up dry cleaning Friday afternoon and block an hour to prep for the client call next Tuesday morning. It got the dates, but it still didn't get the time right. When this happens, I like to screenshot the problem and then tell AI to fix it. You can paste screenshot directly into the prompt window, and my prompt might look something like this. I basically mentioned this looks like a time zone issue because the times look off by about 7 hours. And instead of building this time, I am going to go back to plan mode to make sure the AI really understands me. We will get another plan here and we can click the review button to explore it. Now this plan is pretty technical. It does work, but that doesn't help it if you don't understand it. In this case, I would ask the AI for help. I would say I am not technical. Can you explain this in language that I understand? I will leave this as an exercise for you to try because I know this will work. I will click approve after that, and one more fix. This now works as expected. Dates and times now look perfect. If we add them to the calendar, you will see those events pop up right here. I hope you agree that this app is already pretty powerful, and even though it didn't take us that long, the last step is to publish it so you can access it on your phone. To make sure nobody else has access to your calendar, copy and paste this prompt. This tells Lovable to switch from using your Google Calendar to allowing other people to use their own. You have to do some steps outside of Lovable to set this up. So that's why I have written walk me through what I need to do inside the prompt. I will take care of this off camera. You can do the same by following these steps. That step gave me a full sign-in experience with Google, and now the only step left is to publish. You will find that publish button in the top right corner of the screen. Let's walk through it together. You will get a free URL for the app. You can customize this just a bit, but if you need a fully custom domain, you will need to get a pro plan. On this next page, we chose how visible it is. We are going to stick with public because we have authentication in place. So this next page, you can change the title, description and social image of your app. I will stick with the defaults. Feel free to change what you like. Now before you publish, Lovable does recommend running this in-depth security scan. This is really good, especially for AI generated code, just to make sure you don't have security problems. One nice thing is that fixing these issues doesn't cost you credit as long as you use this try to fix all button. Now this app won't last long, so I will skip the security fixes this time and click publish. When the app goes live, you can view it straight in your browser and it looks like the preview experience. Congratulations! You just built a real app that runs on your phone and you don't even need to publish it to the App Store. So, go build your next app at the link in the description below. And I'll see you in the next one.